Hello everyone, it's Eleanor Hode here from Handsworth and Perry Hall Park Forest School and from Handsworth Community Garden, working with the Active Wellbeing Society, Sir Hayley and the Friends of Handsworth Park. So today's activity, I've come indoors because it's actually raining out there for the first time today. We're going to make some daisy bruise oil. So I've been and picked some daisies. Now I think most of you will recognise daisies. They have that very distinctive yellow centre and the white petals all the way round. And at the moment they're absolutely everywhere in the grass. Any cut grass seems to just be full of daisies. And when you get a big field full of them, they actually smell amazing. You might not realise that daisies are actually very similar to arnica. You may have seen arnica cream for bruises. Well, daisies work in the same way. They help to reduce inflammation and help bruising to heal. So they're actually a really good medicine, although we usually think of them for making daisy chains and things like that. They're also good for coughs. So they can be made into a syrup for coughs. And they're also very uplifting. They're quite good at reconnecting people with when they were feeling a bit happier. So they're quite a nice one at the moment. Just walking through them, they sort of cheer you up. So I've picked a whole bowl full of them. The thing that you need to do is you don't need the stalk part, you just need the flower. And when you go to pick them, try and pick them when the sun's shining, not like today, and just after the morning dew has dried, and then they'll be fully open and they're nice and dry in the sun. That's the right time to pick them. And the only bit that you need is the actual flower head. So they make quite a satisfying little pop when you pull off the stalks. So you can pull off the stalks and just collect the heads until you've got a nice little bowl full. And then what you're going to need to make your bruise oil is some sort of jar. Any jar with a screw-on or tight-fitting lid is fine. Just a large enough jar to hold the daisies, and then we're going to cover them in oil. These kind of jars are good because they shut down nice and secure. So when you've got your jar, make sure you give it a really good wash in hot soapy water. If it has labels, make sure you've totally removed those labels, and then rinse out the soap so that it's really, really clean. If you've got a dishwasher, those are really good for getting them nice and clean. And once it's clean and dry, give it a sniff. It shouldn't smell of anything. There should be no residue of anything that's been in there before. So yeah, that's fine. So it's nice and clean and sort of sterilised really. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to tip in our daisies into the jar. They look so pretty. Okay, lost a few down there. So you can just see, there we have it, a little jar of daisies. And then we're just going to make a simple infusion of the daisies into oil. So you can use any kind of carrier oil really that you're happy with putting on your skin. I've got some sweet almond oil, but you could also use olive oil, that would be fine. Rapeseed oil, sunflower oil, any carrier oil that you have at home that you would be happy to put on your skin. So once you've put your daisies in, we're just going to cover them with the oil. So the idea with any sort of infusion is you want to make sure that they're totally immersed in the oil. You don't want anything sticking out the top. So I'm just filling that up. We're using quite a lot. So once you've got it in your oil, give it a little stir. And what you're trying to make sure is that there's no air bubbles in there and that all of your plant material is totally covered in the oil. I think that's all right. You can also give it a little tap just to make sure. And that's it. It's as simple as that. You're then going to put your lid on nice and tight. Give it a little shake. Check that they're all submerged. They're just floating about in there nicely. The next step is make sure you put on a label. It's really easy to forget what's in what jar. So I've got my little label saying daisy oil. And I'm also going to put on a label with the date. And that will help me remember how long it's been infusing. You're going to need to leave this somewhere warm, like a sunny windowsill or something like that, to keep it nice and warm. And every now and then when you remember, give it a little shake, just to make sure all those daisies stay under the oil. And after at least 2 weeks, but up to 4 weeks, you're then going to drain off the oil from the daisies using a sieve, and just let it sit until all that oil has drained off into another jar, and then you can discard the daisies, and then you can bottle that up and store that. And if you do ever have a bruise or a bump, you just apply a little bit of the oil to the bruise, and it should help to heal you. I hope you enjoy making it. Let me know how you get on. Take care everyone, bye.